Hi, I'm Carrie. I had the great privilege of being involved in a prayer ministry for over 10 years. Praying for a community week after week really had a great impact on my faith, and I developed a deeper, richer walk with Jesus. It became very personal for me. And I was allowed to witness God answering prayers day after day and really seeing his sovereignty even in the smallest details of our lives. I came to understand our God to be good, to be merciful, compassionate, and ever-present. I learned to trust in him in all circumstances. I was able to surrender the greatest trials in my life and in the lives of other people, and trust in him and know that he was sovereign in all things. I know that God answers prayers. Sometimes he answers them immediately, and there are still some prayers that are awaiting his answer. But he always has a plan and a purpose. His timing is perfect, and he usually answers in ways that are so far beyond whatever I could ask for. As we start our care ministry at the W, I know that we will begin with prayer and that we will take the needs of our community before the Lord. One of the most powerful messages from Pastor Brian that I heard this year was on biblical love. I came to understand that true, authentic love was sacrificial and it was an action. It's that kind of love that we want to bring to those in need. Jesus offered that authentic, sacrificial love. The gentle pace of his life always allowed for him to tend to those that were hurting, lost, and broken. So we want to follow in his footsteps and bring his kind of love to those in our community. If you in your entire life have experienced a hurt, then you can share that experience with someone who has the same hurt. You can respond to their needs with great hope and a compassionate understanding of what they're going through. When we think of our care ministry at the W, we wonder who might be qualified to participate in the care of our community. And then I think of an ancient Hebrew tradition called sitting Shiva. When someone in the community had lost a loved one, those around them would come over and just sit with the one grieving. And in that silence, and in that quiet space, the needs of the individual would surface. And so if they wanted to talk, you would talk. If they wanted to have a meal, you would prepare something for them. If they wanted to weep, you would be there to comfort them. But most of the time, you would just sit with them. It was your presence that was the gift. And everyone can respond to someone like that. That means we're all qualified to provide care to one another. It's through the grace of God that we come through our greatest trials. And when you sit with someone going through that same experience, you're living proof of our God, Jehovah Rapha, the God of healing. As believers, we have this great hope of eternity with God, where there's no more tears, no more suffering, and no more pain. But until that time, I invite you to join us in our care ministry so that we can bring that light of Jesus to each other. I cannot wait to see how God will move in our ministry. I know he will lead and direct our steps, and that we will move in with the love of Jesus as we care for our church and our community. I know God will be faithful.